What's that sound? What is going on, party people? Show here, back at it once again with another entry in my E3 2017 wish list. This next game I'm talking about is really special to me. And, as of right now, E3 is just 2 days away, boys and girls. The hype is building up. Rumors and leaks are flying everywhere. I've been trying to cover my ears and eyes and staying off of Twitter and Facebook because I don't want to know anything going into this year's E3. My favorite part about E3 are the big reveals and surprises. So I just want to go in blind. I don't want to know anything. And I'm scared of leaks. I really am. I don't want anything leaked. And it's just 2 days away. 2 days. If this game that I'm talking about next on this list gets shown during Sony's press conference at this year's E3, it is going to be a very special surprise. It is a franchise that I've wanted to see another entry for a very long time. I've been just dying to see this franchise return. It is a franchise that I grew up playing as a child. I want to see an Ape Escape revival, and I think it is a possibility. I really do. First things first, Ape Escape. What a fantastic franchise this game. I mean, I haven't played the later games, but Ape Escape 1, 2, and 3 have just been absolutely amazing. I remember playing the first Ape Escape back on the PS1, back when I was just a little tyke, and I just really enjoyed this game. I really did. I mean, what is this? What is this game? It doesn't make any sense at all. There are these crazy apes that run the world, and they have these sirens on their head. They're absolutely adorable, to be honest. Like, they really are. And they're running around this world, and you were just this dude with spiky hair that has to catch them with this net. You were given all these different gadgets, like a lightsaber, binoculars, and all kinds of other things. I think at one point you get a jetpack as well. There's like a breathable thing, like a little jet that you can swim underwater with. There's so many different gadgets that you can use and utilize on the field. And speaking of the field, there are these huge, massive, like 3D types of levels that are really open-ended that just have you capturing these apes. There's like 8 apes that are wandering around this world, and your job is to catch each one of them. You would climb up like a mountain or climb up a tree and scope the area out. You'd see an ape way up the cliff over there, and you're like, oh man, how do I get over there? So you have to find a way up this cliff to capture this ape. It's basically a collectathon, but the collectathon, the collectible itself, is these apes. They're just wild apes that run around. And there's different types of apes too. I remember later on in the game, some apes have like guns and stuff. So there's so much depth there with the types of gameplay that you have to deal with. I remember one of my favorite levels in Ape Escape 1, it was one of the earlier levels, was like, I can't remember what it was called, prehistoric something, I don't remember. And I remember it was like raining, it was like in a beachy type of area, and I remember there was water that was running through like a ravine in this level, and there was this dinosaur there, this like Lapras looking creature that would go through the water, and you could like jump on its back and it would take you, down the level. And I remember just that traversal being so special to me as a child. It was just, it really captured the spirit of adventure so much inside of me. Like, I absolutely loved it. I think a lot of people did as well. And, to see that transition into today's, in the modern gaming scene, I think would be really special. Now, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I could see this game happening is because Sony itself doesn't really have a franchise like this. Now, Sony and the PS4 itself has been extremely successful. It is probably the most successful console on the market right now. I mean, I don't know how things are going to shape up once when Scorpio comes out or once when the Switch picks up some steam, but right now PS4 is the best console on the market, in my opinion. I mean, I play it all the time. I absolutely love my PS4, but there's a little bit of a problem there for me. So during last year's E3, during PlayStation's press conference, probably one of the best press conferences I've ever seen, I'm not gonna lie. They showed so many games. God of War, I mean, the brand new God of War looks amazing. They showed Days Gone, oh my god, I can't wait to see that IP again. They showed Detroit, they showed Resident Evil 7, and yeah, all those games were fantastic and great, and I can't wait to see more of them. They all have one thing in common, and that is they're all pretty dark and grim and violent. I think all those games I mentioned are actually rated M. So, maybe not Detroit, I'm not 100, actually I think that game is rated M. They're all really adult. Now, I don't have a problem with that specifically. Most of the games I play are rated M, and that's fine, I don't care. But I think what Sony needs at this point is a franchise that can appeal to more people. I think that Spider-Man might do that. I think that Spider-Man could be that game that Sony needs. But I think they need more than one. I think they need a more colorful game. A more, like, kid-friendly type of game But I don't want it just to be like a stupid kid game. I want it to be more than that. I want it to be a franchise that appeals to a multitude of audiences. And I think that Ape Escape could be that franchise. It is widely popular in Japan, so maybe we could get that over here in the States as well once again. And speaking of Japan, the studio that makes this game is Japan Studio. And just recently, Shawn Layden himself, one of the CEOs over at Sony, Shawn Layden himself, during an interview, has said that during this year's E3, there is going to be a lot of big reveals by Japanese developers. Now, I was thinking like, oh, Square Enix and From Software, we're probably going to see some Kingdom Hearts 3 action, we're probably going to see some FF7 action, maybe a new like Dark Souls type of game, maybe Bloodborne 2. It's going to be hype. But then I thought, big reveals from Japanese studios. Sony owns the Japan studio. I think it's called like the Sony Japan Studio or Sony Interactive Japan Studio. That is their studio. Ape Escape is an exclusive franchise to the PlayStation. Yeah, that is the quintessential Japanese studio. So I could definitely see maybe Shawn Layden is just teasing a new Ape Escape game. I don't know. He's teased stuff before. He teased Crash, and it was a beautiful thing. It became a meme at that point, and I could easily see them doing that again. And it's just something that we need. It really is. I mean, it's just a franchise that I'm dying to see return. And another thing, from a marketing perspective, these apes, man, like I said before, they're adorable. They're cute. They got sirens on their heads. They make cute noises. They run around and do stupid things. We have several things like that today. I mean, we have minions, although I think those things are absolutely disgusting. Just get that out of here, please. I hate the minions so much. I like Despicable Me. I hate the minions, though. Get them out, please. And we also have rabbits, too, something that kind of took the gaming industry by storm. That's probably an overstatement, actually, but we're seeing them return as well in the Mario Rabbids game. And I think the apes are actually better than both of those. I really do. I think the apes are so much cooler than rabbits and the stupid minions. And the reason why is because the apes are not stupid. They're not just these dumb things that just run into walls. They're smart. They jump out of the way. They climb up trees. And they're still cute and awesome. And they're evil, too. That's the most fun of it all. I remember the first game. I can't even remember. It's been so long since I played that game. At least a re-release. Come on, give me a re-release of this game. This has been just a dead franchise for so long now. But I remember in the first game, the main bad guy was like this white-haired dude. He was like a white ape or something. I think his name was like Zero or something like that. Or I can't remember his name, but he like could control all of the apes or something. The soundtrack, oh my god, the soundtrack in the original Ape Escape is probably in my top 5 favorite soundtracks for a game of all time. I absolutely love the soundtrack to Ape Escape. I have put it in a multitude of my videos once before. It's probably definitely going to be in this one as well. It is just fantastic. I might just put that in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Again, it is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. If they can nail that composer once again, please get him in this game. Now, speaking of that, what can we see in a new Ape Escape game? Now, just recently, Breath of the Wild came out on the Nintendo Switch, and it was just an absolute barn burner of a game. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not even gonna lie. It is just absolutely fantastic. And one of my favorite parts about that is there's so many different ways to play. There's different weapons to use. You have shields, you have boomerangs, bow, arrow, you have all these types of tools that you can use in battle, and even your Sheikah powers as well, like your Sheikah Slate runes. You have like bombs, and you can have the ice thing. I want to see that kind of transition into an Ape Escape game. Now, they already kind of did that with the original, and I'm sure they expanded upon that in later titles as well, because there are like 6 or 7 Ape Escape games, but there hasn't been one in a long time. This is a franchise that's been dormant, don't get me wrong. But I kind of want to see that transition in there and have like different types of gadgets that you can use, and like being able to traverse around the world using these different types of gadgets. Maybe having like a paraglider type of thing would be cool. Having like you can bring back the old gadgets too. Having the beam sword, the laser weapon is really cool. Maybe even having a gun, like not a real gun, of course, like a laser gun or something, or like a taser or something like that. I think that would be really, really cool. Again, it's something that we've seen before, but I think that the fact that Breath of the Wild did it so beautifully, I think that you can find a way to even transition it even better in a new Ape Escape game. And something else I want to see is bigger and better worlds themselves. Now, one of my favorite parts about Ape Escape were the levels. The levels were just absolutely excellent. There were so many different ways to traverse around. Like I said before, in the prehistoric level, there was like a dinosaur that you could legit just surf on throughout the level. I want to see something like that. I want to see it even go further. And the graphics too. You can really make this game look special. And something else that Breath of the Wild did so well was having realism and cartoony graphics mesh so well. And I could see that happening in a new Ape Escape game. But I mean, I would definitely take away the realism and just make it a complete cartoony type of game. But I just want to see like nice, like rendered graphics, like nice looking models, like because those Ape Escape games, let's be honest, they don't look too good today. They really don't. And it's something that I would love to see, and I think the benefit of it showing up on the PS4 in a modern sense is how beautiful the game could look. I mean, just looking at vistas and looking at water, swimming around in a snowy mountain, in a weird cave, in like some weird laboratory. Like, you can make those things look really, really cool on the PS4. And again, it's something that PlayStation needs, in my opinion, because we don't have a cartoony looking game. We really don't. Now, Crash Collection, the Insane Trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, does look really cool, but I don't think it is that type of game that's going to really just push, the PlayStation brand. It is just a re-release. It's just a re-release of an old franchise, just for nostalgia, and it does look great. But it is developed by Activision. It is not a PlayStation-developed game. And I know, Japan Studio wouldn't necessarily be the same thing, but I don't think Crash is going to do it for them. I really don't. I'm going to buy the game, and I'm sure it's going to be really, really fun, but I don't think it's going to be really, really great. I really don't. I want to see a franchise that Sony can go back to time and time again and just make more games. Like, I really do. And another thing I was speaking of earlier is these apes. Like, there's something Sony could really capitalize on these apes, man. I mean, you have War of the Planet of the Apes coming out. It's time to get Ape Escape going. Let's get this started. I mean, just from a marketing standpoint, as I mentioned, you could have so many plushies, t-shirts. During E3, I remember back in the days, the early days of E3, I remember seeing like people, dressed up as these apes, like big mascots of them jumping around. I want to see that return once again. Do you? Comment down below, let me know. Give me your thoughts and feelings about an Ape Escape revival. Do you think that it would work even in this modern gaming scene? Or do you think that this series should just stay dormant? And share your memories of Ape Escape as well, because I just remember back in the day, oh my goodness, I remember just being a 90s kid, man, just eating pizza, playing Ape Escape, listening to that beautiful soundtrack, then after that playing some Pro Skater 2, those days were so good, man. And I would like to see them return, because we are never going to get a good Tony Hawk game again. Let's get a good Ape Escape game again. Come on. Comment down below and give me your thoughts. Hit that like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today. And also, please be sure to subscribe for more E3 2017 content. I have one more wishlist video to get out. I'm doing these as a countdown. E3 is just 2 days away, 1 day away tomorrow. And again, the hype. And we're going to be, me and my good friend Matthew, we're going to be reacting to each and every single press conference. So again, subscribe. Hit that bell. You're going to want to know when these videos come out. I greatly appreciate it. It's just going to be a fun time. It really is. And I greatly appreciate it again. And yeah, again, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.